You are 25 years old. You are sitting at a desk inside one of the most valuable companies on earth. Outside your window is a campus with free food, a gym, and a coffee bar that never closes. You are wearing jeans, maybe a hoodie, and your annual compensation is $280,000. Nobody handed this to you. You built the skills, of us passed the interviews, and understood exactly how this industry pays. That last part, most people miss entirely. This is your financial life as a software engineer. Education. It starts, like most things, with a decision about school. The standard path is a 4-year computer science degree. At a public university in the United States, that costs between $10,000 and $25,000 per year. At a private university, Stanford, MIT, Carnegie Mellon, it runs between $55,000 and $80,000 per year. By graduation, you have spent somewhere between $40,000 and $320,000, depending on where you studied. But here's something about this industry that makes it genuinely different. The market does not care as much about your university name as most other high-paying careers do. A graduate from a state school and a graduate from Stanford can receive identical offers from the same company on the same day. What matters is whether you can solve the problems they put in front of you during the interview. The degree opens the door. Your skills determine what happens next. Some people skip the degree entirely. Coding boot camps run 3 to 6 months and cost between $10,000 and $20,000. Some defer payment until you are employed. Engineers from this route have walked into $120,000 starting salaries. It is a harder path into the top companies, but it is a real one. What both paths share is this: the moment you finish, you start earning. There is no unpaid training period waiting on the other side. No years of low wages before the real income begins. You finish, you interview, you get hired, and your financial life starts immediately. Your first job. You land your first role at a major tech company: Google, Meta, Amazon, Apple, or Netflix. The industry calls these companies FAANG. And the way they pay you is something most people outside the industry have never fully understood. Your offer letter shows a base salary around $130,000 to $180,000 per year. That is real money, but it is not your full compensation. On top of that base, you receive a signing bonus, a one-time payment between $20,000 and $50,000 in your first year. And then there are RSUs, restricted stock units. These are shares of company stock granted to you as part of your pay, released gradually over 4 years. Your initial RSU grant at entry level is worth between $150,000 and $250,000. When you add everything together, your total compensation in year one sits between $200,000 and $350,000 at 22 or 23 years old. The RSU structure is worth understanding clearly because it shapes every career decision you make from here. Your stock releases on a vesting schedule. Nothing in the first 12 months. That period is called the cliff. After the cliff, shares release quarterly over the next 3 years. The company built it this way to keep you in place. Engineers have a name for it: golden handcuffs, the unvested stock ahead of you that makes leaving feel costly. Most engineers in their first job do not fully think about what this means. The ones who do make significantly more money over the course of their career. The career 2 years pass. You are good at your job. Your base salary has grown. And then a former colleague, someone who started the same year as you, sends you a message. They just accepted an offer somewhere else. Their new total compensation is $420,000. Yours is $290,000. Same skills. Similar experience. The difference is that they understood something you are about to learn. In most industries, staying loyal to one company is financially rewarded. In software engineering, it is often the opposite. Engineers who move companies every 2 to 3 years consistently out-earn engineers who stay put. When you apply externally, companies compete for you with higher base salaries, fresh RSU grants, and signing bonuses designed to replace what you leave behind. Your current employer's annual raise cannot match that. An engineer who stays at one company for 10 years might grow their total compensation from $250,000 to $380,000. An engineer who moves deliberately every 2 years can reach $600,000 in that same period. The technical skill is identical. The financial outcome is not. The levels inside these companies also matter enormously. Entry level sits between $200,000 and $350,000 total compensation. Mid-level, 3 to 5 years in, reaches $300,000 to $500,000. Senior engineer climbs to $400,000 to $700,000. Staff engineer, the level considered elite inside these companies, earns between $600,000 and over $1 million annually. Now, taxes. California, where most of these companies are headquartered, has a state income tax of 13.3%. Combined with federal tax, you lose close to half of every dollar above a certain point. A $500,000 compensation package in San Francisco becomes roughly $280,000 in your bank account. Washington State, where Amazon and Microsoft sit, has zero state income tax. Texas and Florida the same. An engineer earning $500,000 in Seattle takes home $50,000 more per year than the same engineer earning the same amount in San Francisco. Over a decade, that single decision about where to live is worth $500,000. You max your 401k at $23,000 per year. Your Roth IRA adds $7,000. Your company stock purchase plan lets you buy shares at a 15% discount. A guaranteed return before the market moves at all. These tools, used consistently, are what separate engineers who earn well from engineers who build lasting wealth. By 35, if you climbed deliberately and invested consistently, your net worth sits between $1,500,000 and $3 million. You are not yet 40, and your money is now compounding faster than your salary grows. Conclusion: the entry cost is manageable. The time between finishing school and your first real paycheck is short, and the ceiling on what this career can pay is higher than most people who have never worked in it would believe. A software engineer who starts at 22, moves strategically, and invests the difference can retire at 45, living entirely off passive income. That is not an exceptional case. That is what the math produces for someone who takes this career seriously from the beginning. You are sitting at a desk. There's a coffee next to your laptop. The work is invisible to most people watching from the outside. But the financial life being built, quietly, deliberately, line by line, is one of the strongest available to anyone entering the workforce today. If you don't want to miss this kind of videos, don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.